Hey everybody, it's Jim with a Friday video on April 19th. And I am standing at the Murrah Memorial because today is the anniversary, the 29th, 29 years ago, the Murrah bombing. I was a lawyer working in Oklahoma City at the time, just a few blocks south of here. And it was a day that so many of us will never forget. But the reason I wanted to share with you on this Friday video about this event is because Goodwill was deeply involved in the recovery. If you have a copy of the book More Than a Store, you'll note in the material that the CEO at that time was a guy named Dan Kurtenbach. I had a chance to interview Dan when we wrote the book, and Dan told me about Goodwill's involvement in the aftermath. We actually had a couple of Goodwill employees working cleaning the Alfred Murrah building. And the building, you can see what's left of it over here. They worked the night shift, and fortunately by the time the bomb went off at 9:02 a.m., they were gone. But in the aftermath, so many people wanted to do things for people. They were donating items, and Goodwill and Dan were asked to head up a group of 66 different nonprofits who all worked together to make sure that the items were collected and stored and distributed to people that needed them. And it was just terrific and hard work. Dan actually met with this group of 66 agency leaders every week for 3 weeks. And then for an additional 2 years after that, he met every other week. So there's a lot of work, and Goodwill was a great community partner at that time, making sure that people got the help that they needed. So that's what we're about. We're about helping people overcome challenges to employment, but when the need arises, we also help them overcome other kinds of obstacles as well. So as you go through this weekend and into this next week, and you hear more about the Murrah bombing and the memorial and the 29th anniversary of the event, remember that Goodwill was a part of that in helping recover. And all the work that we do every day in the stores, in our training, everywhere across the organization, we're helping the community just like we helped them back 29 years ago. So I was in Washington, D.C. this week, by the way, working on Capitol Hill with other Goodwill International members, trying to make sure that legislators on Capitol Hill were aware of the importance of workforce development, talked to legislators and their staff, and I also attended a Goodwill International board meeting that I sit on that board. So lots of stuff going on all across the country. We have 154 different Goodwills, all of us independent nonprofits who are focusing our efforts on helping our communities in a way that our community needs help the most. So you're part of that too. So thank you for doing that. And I'll end this video with just a panning of the memorial so you can see it. If you haven't had a chance to come down and tour the memorial as well as go inside the museum, I would recommend that you do that. The Thunder, who's playing for a championship now this time, whenever a new member of the Thunder basketball team joins, this is the first stop they make on their orientation to the city. So here's what you see when you come down to the memorial. 168 vacant chairs for the 168 adults and children who were killed in the bombing. And then over here, I'll take you just a moment to see the survivor tree. This bomb blast really was so destructive, and it spread destruction for blocks and blocks. But that big tree that you see there survived, and saplings from that tree have been planted all across the United States to show the resilience of the people of Oklahoma. And we became known, we've got the trolley in the background, we have become known as a place that really treats rescuers and emergency personnel grade, it became the Oklahoma Standard, and we're part of that. So thanks for tuning in on this Friday, and I will see you next week.